Amina loved the rhythm of her mornings, the smell of chai brewing, the gentle hum of Rawalpindi waking up. At 32, she was a teacher, her life a blend of routine and the joyful chaos of a classroom. Every day, Amina walked to the nearby bus stop. She rode the bustling bus for 30 minutes, arriving at her school in Islamabad just as the sun bathed the city in a warm glow. It was a routine she cherished, a familiar comfort in a world that often felt unpredictable. Today, however, felt different. A tension hung in the air, a discordant note in the usual symphony of the city. News of the PTI protests had been circulating for weeks. Amina knew today was the day the city would change. The familiar aroma of chai couldn't mask the anxiety that clung to the morning air. Amina switched on the radio, her heart sinking as the news confirmed her fears. The PTI protests had escalated, bringing Rawalpindi and Islamabad to a standstill. Peering out her window, she saw usually bustling streets eerily deserted. The familiar rhythm of the city was gone, replaced by an unsettling silence. Her phone buzzed, flooded with messages from her colleagues, their words echoing her own anxieties. "School closed? Are you okay? How do we get there?" Doubt gnawed at Amina. Should she even attempt to reach the school? The news painted a picture of chaos, roadblocks, clashes, and a city on edge. But the thought of her students, their faces filled with the eagerness to learn, fueled her determination. She had to try. Leaving her apartment, Amina found herself navigating a maze of unfamiliar routes. The main roads, usually arteries of the city, were choked with a sea of red and green, the colours of the PTI flags. Chants and slogans filled the air, a cacophony of voices reflecting the city's simmering tension. The air crackled with an uneasy energy. Groups of protesters, their faces a mix of anger and determination, lined the streets. The usual honking symphony of Rawalpindi traffic was replaced by the rhythmic clapping and chanting of the protesters. Amina, her heart pounding, found herself swept along with the tide of people. Every turn she took led to another blocked road, another detour, another wave of uncertainty washing over her. The journey that usually took 30 minutes stretched on, each passing moment fueling her anxiety. Section 4. Lost Connections. The frustration of the journey was compounded by the loss of communication. Amina's phone, usually a lifeline connecting her to the world, was nothing more than a dead weight in her hand. The network was down, a casualty of the protests. The silence was deafening. The inability to reach her colleagues, to know if the school was open, to assure her family of her safety, amplified her feelings of isolation. Hours passed. The sun, which had initially seemed a beacon of hope, now felt oppressive, a reminder of the time ticking by. Amina, her initial determination starting to waver, considered turning back. Was reaching the school even possible? Section 5. A teacher's duty. Just as despair threatened to engulf her, Amina spotted a group of children in school uniforms, their faces mirroring her own exhaustion. They were navigating the crowded streets, their small bodies dwarfed by the throngs of people. Seeing them, a wave of protectiveness washed over Amina. These children, her students, were braving the chaos to reach school. How could she, their teacher, give up? Their thirst for knowledge rekindled her own resolve. She approached the children, her voice firm despite her weariness. "Which school do you go to?" she asked. They told her, their voices filled with a mixture of excitement and relief at finding a familiar face in the crowd. It was the same school where Amina taught. Section 6. Finding balance in the chaos. Together, Amina and the children navigated the remaining distance to the school. It was a journey fraught with challenges, a testament to their shared determination. Reaching the school, they found it eerily quiet. Many students and teachers unable to make it through the protests. That day, Amina's lesson transcended textbooks and classrooms. She found herself talking to her students about the protests, about the right to peaceful assembly, about the importance of civic engagement. But she also spoke about the responsibility that came with it. the need to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone in the city. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over Rawalpindi, Amina finally returned home. Her body ached, her mind weary, but her spirit was strangely invigorated. She had witnessed the city at its most divided, yet also its most resilient. The experience left her with a profound understanding of the delicate balance between exercising one's right to protest and the need to maintain order and normalcy in daily life. It was a lesson she knew she would carry with her, a lesson she would impart to her students, the future of Pakistan.